class, welcome back to another exciting week of art. Today is going to be a great day for everybody who wishes that we were drawing and they're tired of making things. So if you fit in that criteria, this is your week. We are going to be working with charcoal. We're going to be doing two drawings that are kind of rough drawings and then one kind of final drawing on our better paper. So in your kit, you are going to need this pack, which has a charcoal eraser, a piece of charcoal, and a chalk. Okay, and then in this pack, you are going to need the gray paper, just 2 of the pages, and then you are going to need one of the nice charcoal papers. Yeah, so we will get started. Let me make sure I've got the charcoal paper. Yeah. There's 2 types in here. There's like a smoother paper like this, and there's a rougher paper like this, and you are going to want the smoother paper for pastels, so that's not this week, and you're going to want the rougher paper for charcoal. Okay, there are 2 pieces in there, but you're only going to need 1. All right, let's get started. Well, we are going to start working on our drawing. I'm going to draw my little cactuses today. Other things that work really well are hats. There's generally lots of texture on them, and sometimes you really like the team that is on the hat, so it's a great choice. Other things that work well are small figurines that I'll pull out for the next one, and fruit, plants. Choose something you're interested in because you're going to be spending lots of time working on it. So here we go. So getting started, the first thing I'm going to do is on the side, I'm going to mark out a scale for my charcoal. So I'm going to start with something that's very dark. Okay, I'm going to do something that's a little lighter. And then I'm going to kind of keep building down. And then if I want, I can also go in with my white to kind of blend. To get my charcoal where I want it to be. So if I want this to still be a little lighter, I can go back with my white and kind of balance it out. If I go too far in a direction, I can always use my charcoal eraser, and it's also nice to kind of help clean up any lines, right? You can kind of take away any smudges or things you want to get rid of. If you are not a finger smudger like me, I would suggest using a tissue or a piece of paper towel. You could also take some newsprint and roll it up as a piece to use. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out what I'm going to draw. So if I'm going to draw this cactus, I could use my charcoal to even like kind of help measure. So I know that the bottom half of the charcoal is about 1 charcoal. The plot is 1 charcoal high, and the very top of the biggest cactus is another charcoal high. So I'm just going to take my charcoal, I'm going to put it down on the paper. I'm going to put a little mark there, put a little mark at the bottom. I'm going to do the same thing up at the top. So I have an idea of how big it's going to be, and I could take my piece of charcoal and hold it down and be like, oh, that's super convenient. It's roughly the same width as my charcoal, so I'm going to just mark it in. And since it is a pot the same size, got a good idea of where we're going to go. Okay, so then I'm going to start working on the drawing part. So I'm going to start by just marking in the circle. That's the top of my pot. And then I'm going to drop down. Put it there. Then I'm going to drop down a little more. Try to get that shape in. Okay, then I'm going to mark in my first cactus, my cactus behind it, And then my cactus kind of up above it. Okay, that one's only that far back, and then there's just lots of soil. Okay, now at this point I'm going to start shading in the different parts of my cactus to kind of get the different tones. So I'm going to look at the shape and color and kind of like think things through. So my darkest tone is going to be the darkness of the soil in the darker spots. My more medium tone is probably going to be my pot, and then my cactuses are going to be this tone. I like, when I'm planning out what I'm going to do, to even like mark it on my paper so that I have an idea over where I'm gonna kind of go. So this like really white part is going to be the top of the plant and the soil flecks. And then when it comes to these more medium tones, they're also going to be part of the cactuses. And then maybe the highlight in the pot. Spending the time before you get a lot further by figuring out what you're going to do in the different parts of the pot will help speed along the process. Well, I'm going to start working on blocking in my colors. So I'm going to start with the pot, and I'm going to try to kind of fill in those different sections. Okay, and once again I can blend with a piece of rolled up newspaper if I'm looking to kind of save my fingers. And then there's a little darker. Okay, at this point I'm starting to get a little bit of charcoal buildup on my paper. When that happens, I'm going to suggest that you should shake it off into a into like a garbage can or onto some newsprint that you're going to clean up. Just because if you have extra on the paper, sometimes it gets all over, and I know that if I were your mother, I would not want to be dealing with that type of mess. So be wise, be smart, clean as you go. Now, because I'm trying to kind of mimic the way the soil is, when I'm applying the charcoal here, I'm moving it kind of in a rougher texture to kind of mimic the texture that's there compared to when I was putting it on the pot, right? When I was working on the pot, my goal was to kind of get it nice and smooth. When I'm working with the cactuses, dirt, I want to kind of like get that rougher texture in there. I can still go in and smooth out parts or kind of draw a little with my newsprint. And if I really want to kind of get a nice smoothing and I want to use a piece of tissue paper, I can also go back into my pot and just kind of like smooth it out entirely. It'll always take off a little when you use the tissue, and it'll kind of help lighten. And like right here, when I'm seeing the kind of shape of my pot not being as crisp or clean as I'd like, I can use my charcoal eraser to just clean it up, to take away that extra. I can even use it to kind of go in here and kind of draw out on the lip a little to get some more of that highlight that I want to be able to see. Okay. Moving into the cactuses, I'm going for a nice medium tone, and so for that I hadn't used any white, I just used less of the charcoal. I'm just going to hold the charcoal flat, and I'm just going to pull it across. And then a lot of my shaping for it is going to be by building on those other layers, by adding in those other textures. Okay, so looking at the cactuses, you can kind of see the shadowing around where the cones are. So I'm gonna go in with my charcoal piece and I'm gonna kind of just mimic and draw some of those cones in. Okay, and as I'm doing that, I'm just kind of like building up what the texture is going to be. I can go back in with my tissue and do some blotting to take off extra if I have like a little too much in one spot. I can go back with my newspaper and I can use it to kind of help draw in some more of the shapes if I want. I could always use my fingers and use them to be able to kind of smudge and change what's going on. So at this point, I'm going to kind of jump ahead and do some of the drawing, and I'll meet back to you when I'm kind of adding in some of those final highlight pieces. So I've marked in a lot of my different spots on my drawing. I've added in a lot of the texture from the cones, and so then I'm going to go in with the white to kind of hit the top of the plants where you can see it's, sorry, you can kind of see how white it is. And so I'm going to go in with my chalk and I'm going to build up that little happy kind of almost flower spot at the top of my cactuses. No, I'm not being super exact as I'm doing it. I'm not looking at that exact spot, right? It's just a sketch. So I want to go in, maybe add in some of the flakes of the white in the soil, and then I'm going to start doing the really time-consuming piece, which is going to be drawing all of the little hairs of the cactus. It is at this point I'm going to suggest that you choose an easier object than a cactus to draw. Now, the criteria for this one is that we are looking for you to demonstrate at least 5 different tones in your drawing. Okay? I feel like I've definitely achieved that. I do think it could be a little neater, a little nicer, but the goal of this drawing is that it's not supposed to take you more than 15 minutes. Sorry, let me restart. And so that is the first of the drawings, okay? I still have my other 2 pieces. I'm gonna do one more rough one, and then I'm going to decide between the 2 which one I like best, and then I'm going to do a good version, maybe a little bigger, on the like super nice drawing paper. When you're working, be kind. It's tricky doing life drawing. Remember, you can always measure and check with whatever drawing item you have in your hand. You can also kind of look at your object very closely and pay attention to what makes it unique. Those are what makes drawings good, is when those original little pieces make it more interesting. Kind of the same reason why I said choose something that has a lot of texture, that's a little worn, because it tends to be something that's more interesting to draw visually. There's something to really pay attention to, there's something to really emphasize in the drawing, and that'll make it so that there's more character and more originality in your drawing. It won't look like something that you found necessarily on the internet, but something that I will, I guess, see on the internet anyway, because that's how you're sending it to me. All right, I'll see you guys and your work. You've been doing fantastic. I've loved getting the text or the assignment, like put in through Teams, or the emails with all of the variety of work that you guys have done. The spoons and the sculptures have been delightful, and I was really impressed with the way you guys did your watercolors. So keep it up. Looking forward to seeing all of the great work. Bye guys.